Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into a step-by-step deconstruction of a really fascinating, highly emotional short film pitch called The Lost Wallet. It's wild how much complex human psychology and raw emotion this pitch manages to pack into just a few short paragraphs. We're going to break down exactly how this narrative works, how it's meant to look on screen, and what it's ultimately trying to say.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts of the plot, seriously, ask yourself, what would you do if you found a wallet stuffed full of cash on a pitch-black, deserted road? No cameras, zero witnesses, just you and a sudden, completely untraceable windfall. Right away, this story builds an incredible empathy bridge. It drops us right into the shoes of our protagonist before we even learn his name. We're practically forced to check our own moral compass, which is just the perfect primer for the drama that's about to unfold.
Part 1, the setup and stakes.
You know, any great story needs to hook you right off the bat. And this one doesn't waste a single second on unnecessary backstory. It drops us straight into a high-pressure scenario where every second, and honestly every dollar, carries massive weight. We're following a poor young delivery driver. His mother is seriously ill and he desperately needs money for her medical treatment. Now, these aren't just throwaway background details. They're the entire engine driving the plot. By establishing upfront that he's not motivated by greed, but by this desperate need to save his mom, the writer creates immediate, profound sympathy. We aren't judging the guy, we're actively rooting for him, and we totally get the crushing pressure he's under.
And then the universe throws him a massive curveball. The inciting incident. He discovers a wallet containing a huge amount of cash and important documents just lying there on that dark, deserted road. Imagine the tension if you were filming this scene. It's dead quiet. It's late, just the faint glow of streetlights hitting the leather of the wallet. The suspenseful pacing really kicks into high gear here. He opens it, sees the stacks of cash, and suddenly, the exact solution to his mother's illness is literally sitting right in the palm of his hand. The tension is absolutely palpable.
Part 2, the ultimate internal struggle. Now, what's super crucial to understand about this narrative structure is that the true conflict, it isn't external at all. There are no bad guys chasing our delivery driver, no ticking time bombs. The real battle is happening entirely inside his own head. On one hand, we have this immense temptation, keep the cash. If he does, he solves all his problems instantly, and, most importantly, he saves his mom's life. It's an incredibly compelling argument born out of deep love and pure desperation. But then, on the other hand, you have the voice of his conscience saying, find the owner and take the moral high ground. This contrast right here, this is the beating heart of the pitch. It's a classic ethical dilemma, pitting agonizing short-term temptation against long-term integrity. So what does he do? After this intense internal struggle, he returns everything. He doesn't take a single rupee. He decides to track down the owner, who turns out to be an elderly man. And what makes this choice hit even harder is that we learn this elderly man had completely given up hope of ever seeing his wallet or those vital documents again. Our protagonist literally sacrifices his own immediate salvation just to restore a stranger's faith.
Part 3, this cinematic vision. Of course, a script is just words on a page until it's actually brought to life. To elevate this from a simple morality tale into a gripping experience, the director's stylistic choices are super deliberate. We're talking ultra-realistic cinematography paired with realistic locations to firmly ground the story in everyday grit. They specifically call for natural acting and strong character expressions. Because remember, the main conflict is internal. The audience needs to read that agonizing mental debate purely on the actor's face. Add in some dramatic camera angles, sweeping emotional background music, and really suspenseful pacing, and boom, you transform a simple premise into a deeply heart-touching cinematic experience.
Part 4, the unexpected blessings. Okay, so the intense, nail-biting suspense of that dark road has finally broken, and the tone of the story shifts into something way warmer. Just look at how the ripple effects of his choice unfold over time. First, that night, we have the discovery of the wallet. Then just hours later, the return. He hands it all back to the hopeless elderly man. But the story doesn't just end with a polite thank you. Days later, we get the revelation. The elderly man, who is deeply moved by the young driver's honesty, looks into his background and discovers the dire situation with the driver's mother. Finally, several weeks later, comes the true reward. The elderly man steps in, helps arrange the crucial medical treatment for the mother, and even offers the young guy a stable job. It's this beautiful, structured map showing exactly how one honest action cascaded into life-changing results. And this is the ultimate payoff. He realizes that honesty brought him something far greater than the money he was originally tempted to keep. Think about it realistically for a second. The cash in that wallet might have paid for, what, one round of treatment for his mom? Maybe two? It was a quick, temporary fix. But a stable job, ongoing, secure medical care, a powerful connection built on actual trust, that is profound long-term stability right there. His integrity yielded a sustainable reward that stolen, finite cash just never could have provided. Part 5, Defining True Character. We've deconstructed the plot, analyzed the motivations, and looked at the visual style. So what's the fundamental message the creators want us to walk away with when the screen goes dark? Well, it's explicitly outlined in the pitch. Honesty may not bring immediate rewards, but it always brings lasting respect, trust, and unexpected blessings. That perfectly encapsulates the emotional journey we just went through. It acknowledges a really hard truth. Doing the right thing is rarely the easiest or the fastest path to relief. The driver definitely didn't get rewarded that very night on the road, but the pure respect and trust he earned eventually blossomed into those life-saving, unexpected blessings for his family. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with the exact words the director envisions fading onto the screen right at the end. Character, what you do when no one is watching. On a dark, deserted road with literally no one around to judge him or hold him accountable, our protagonist proved his true character. It's a pretty powerful reflection on human nature, isn't it? It challenges every single one of us to ask ourselves what we would truly do in the dark. Thank you so much for joining me to break down this incredibly structured and moving pitch. Keep seeking out great stories that make you think, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.